It's the first credible sighting in several decades. Admittedly, it's an unusual location for this species, but with all the sewage runoff upstream, it probably doesn't matter much anymore. I have to resist the thought. Such an extraordinary creature is doubtlessly highly resilient. After all...
He means asexual reproduction. The females of the species don't need to mate to produce viable eggs. This makes it easier for a species with a
Yes, the Insulindian phasmid is a very clever insect. That's why it's so damn difficult to catch. Well, they may not look impressive, but Lena designed them quite cleverly, so I'm sure they'll do the trick. Yes. Simple. Attracted by the locusts, the phasmid crawls down the funnel, and, at least, that's the intention. The net isn't a perfect solution, but we didn't want to use anything that... Locusts. Nearly all known phasmids are herbivores, of course. But we've hypothesized that
Inside the traps, a number of locusts crawl and a meat-eating stick insect. Does it pretend to be the reeds as part of its ambush behavior? This seems unlikely.
Thank you for your opinion. We have also included plant material in the traps to satiate your skepticism.
Not a big fan of skepticism, this one.
They'll work, I assure you. The predatory hypothesis, using locusts as bait, accounts for the failure of previous efforts by other teams. Yes, what? And I'm eager to return to her, I assure you. But I can't leave before... My wife understands that just as well as anyone.
Come on, Morel. We've been soaking out here for days. It's time to...
And leave the traps? Absolutely not.
Come on, she wants us back. I'm soaked up to my nuts over here. We'll both catch reed crabs if we don't dry out soon.
Won't let Lena down. Sounds like the cryptozoologist's wife shares a special connection to the phasmid somehow.
Of course it's important to her. She's seen it. A verified sighting, on record. One of only 4 this century, and it's hers. Yes, that's how we first came to know one another, in fact. But
needless to say, you must ask her about the mysterious...
Suffice to say, it's long been our dream to find proof of the Insulindian phasmid together. I can't abandon course. No. The traps need to be monitored on a regular
He's dead set on this.
I didn't expect you to take such an interest in our work here, officer. Yes, indeed. Both require a great deal of research. There are 4 in total. One is to the south, on this little peninsula, by the boathouses there. It's very near. Another we set in Land's End, to the northeast. It's behind a small sand dune there, on your way to the old radio tower, after the church. The third is set near the canal, where you crossed, by a concrete slab. A big thicket of reeds going. You should check at least one of those before returning to this one, since I just said it. This one's more of a technicality, but still, better safe and
That seems like a lot. Do we really have time for this extracurricular venture? Is it?
If you think it's important, you have been right before.
Bring it to me at once. Just make sure the trap is closed.
He's not comfortable with the possibility that you'll claim the find, but he's lying about this even to himself.
That's highly unlikely, officer. And in the event you do, I'll spray you with a It's made of musk and research chemicals. The pheromone should attract the insect to you, or at least prevent it from bolting at the sight of you. It's quite potent. Will last you about a week.
I hope you're not buying this. It dispenses it without letting you touch the canister, so it would be precious like holy water.
It is precious. A single dose cost me 50 real to develop. Not that I expect you to understand self-financing one's own research.
Right, which means you two can pack up and go back to the whirling.
Whatever he thinks about this detour, it's clear that these men...
Finally!
Thank you for your help. Gary and I will start breaking down camp. If you have any more questions, now's the time to ask.
If it's more cryptid-related business you want to discuss, you... But what if the information is vital? On the hunt?
Hell no. I had no idea. And I'm still cross with him, to be honest.
Thanks.
He's still glad his friend...
I've just always liked him.
He seems reluctant to talk about...
It's not child's play. Just because I have to trade through the mud every so often. Real. I know you think one is a respectable profession, while the other is superstition. Everyone does. Indeed. My methods do not differ from other scientists. I simply draw upon a wider No, as I said, I have yet to catch a cryptid, although I have come close. Close everything from forgotten regional lore to new...
He's interested in things that people believe that scientists...
Most establishment scientists only care about reputation. No, very few cryptids are ever discovered. And not for of the list of cryptids kept by the Cryptozoological Society of Chemney, which is 4,082. Two are categorized as confirmed discoveries. The rest are in differing Yes, the Chateauquan forest pygmy, who turned out to be an extinct species of primate, and a cave We cryptozoologists are brutally honest with ourselves, more so even than the public. With cryptids, most cryptids are hoaxes or they are never found. Indeed. If our expedition is successful...
He has clearly done his math on this. There is no surprising him or swaying his...
Yes? All right. What cryptids...
We would have to discuss. He wants to say. You need to ask him about specific cryptids. Cryptids you've heard about from Lena. Or his friend.
I'm guessing you heard about it from Lena.
A warm wave passes him. Of course.
We travelled to South Safra to look for it one. The search was fabulously unsuccessful.
What?
Really?
They're a
Yes, back to cryptozoology.
A willow person. It's a long...
Willow people?
They're not people, really. Some are. They're very, very thin. Almost flat, in fact. And can come up... You probably have. Gary and I painted an entire grove after waiting in hiding for hours. I chased it with a net. Not very...
A lavender shadow.
I know you think we were snacking on funny mushrooms. Furthermore, I'm not saying it was a confirmed...
He makes it a real point here to sound falsifiable.
Confirmed. It's 100% verified. Formerly the most dangerous, yes. But do you know...
He doesn't want to make it feel like you knowing it is some big deal.
The most dangerous cryptid is a carnivorous ruminant. Yes, the dread moose subsists entirely on flesh. Human remains have been found deep in the... just like an ordinary hardened moose. You can't. That's what makes it...
A moose that looks like any other moose. What's going on here? He's kidding, right?
Of course you do.
The bodies found in the forest are just one piece.
A detective. Pardon me, I did not wish to seek...
Understood, Lieutenant. That's impressive, I guess. But have you seen it with your own eyes? Of course you haven't. I haven't had a chance to travel to Coco North. No, I fear this
Yes. It remains unclear what this is...
although, probably because a flightless curse when it's not. Mijanu liked text. Decades ago. In the 30s, did he? That one's a hoax. Some say right. Many of them probably are. Statistically speaking.
If perhaps...
Many times. It always turns into an argument.
Which one? The burning rhino is where they draw the line.
Did you? It is almost as difficult to confirm a hoax as it is to confirm a sighting. No offense, officer, but I'm not much of a pedagogue. Me? I'm not a people person, by all means.
There's a trap in the reeds at your feet. Looks like the same one you saw Morel set before. Same behind you. The ruins of a residential building rise over the reeds. Locusts are crawling around in the trap, confused but uneaten. You see no carnivorous reed pheasant.
Big surprise. Anyway, 1 down, 3 to go. No, you weren't.
familiar apparatus lies among the reeds, another one of Morel's traps, weighed down by stones to keep the reeds sway in the coastal breeze. The wind picks up here, near the cape's end, surrounding the narrow strip of land from 3 cart. This trap is also full of panicked locusts.
Another empty trap. Of course. Noted.
This trap's not too hard to spot, once you know what to look for. Keeping it hidden has not been. The reeds bend forlornly toward the sand. You see slabs of concrete, the constant, distant song, louder on this part of the coast. Near the reeds bend, the constant, nothing but locusts in this trap.
Empty as all of them. One more of these and we're done. I'm just glad we haven't found some pro cat trapped in one of these.
This is the last of the traps. The one Morel just... The reeds by the abandoned... The later it gets, the colder. Remnants of the camp can still be seen in the sand. The trap feels light and silent as you pick it up. No locust. No phasmid either, but still.
Well, the bait worked on something. This doesn't mean it was a reed monster, though. Unless you see one in there, I just see an empty trap. Right. Anyway, that's for the cryptozoologists to figure out now. We are not cryptozoologists. We are cops.
The reeds by the abandoned... The later it gets, an old door, worn by elements, guards the depot. The wind has blown a sand dune in front of it.
It's military, a service depot of some sort. The washerwoman mentioned a depot up the coast. She said it was for moving ammo and cargo across the bay. This might be it.
An old door, worn by elements. You rattle the handle a bit, then push on the door with all your weight. It does.
We don't get in there. Frankly, you're just going to have to...
No. We've gotten into every door thus far. That's what we do. We open doors. We're cops.
Yeah, I understand you. I like opening doors as much as... Relax. No one's hiding in there. If we can't open it, others can't either.
At least you can think about opening it. About doors in general. They are, after all, fundamental to your life. An old door, worn by elements, guards the depot.